then you're probably familiar with this, right? Celsius owes users more than 4.7 billion. Crypto hedge fund 3 Arrows Capital goes down. We saw some more. Oh, let me go to the next slide. Bailouts, right? So yeah, exactly. No, that's not what we want to see. That's not what we want to see. And that causes, like, that's not just bad for those companies, right? But this is bad for all of Bitcoin, right? Then we come to the big pain, which is this, all right? Yeah. So first, the Terra blow up, right? Obviously had not much to do with Bitcoin finance, but it basically created a lot of forced selling. Then 3 Arrows Capital blew up. And then we're all the way there at the bottom, where basically a lot of centralized Bitcoin credit like imploded, and a lot of these market makers, for example, went from 10 possible credit lines to 2 or 3, right? There's not that many left. And this basically, like, as trustworthy as some of these centralized Bitcoin lenders could be, like, they have some fundamental flaws, right? And basically those flaws look like this, right? If you're a BTC holder, right, that's us, and you send your money to a centralized lender, you send your Bitcoin there, it's in a black box, right? You don't know where it's going, you don't know who the borrowers are, no one has any idea what's happening. And what happened in May of this year is that basically a lot of these centralized lenders were all lending to the same borrowers, but they didn't know that. Right? So they thought they had an exclusive relationship with 3 Arrows Capital, and a lot of them thought that, and then all of a sudden it appeared that that relationship wasn't so exclusive, and certain diligence or certain information wasn't provided. Yeah, and then when things blow up, then you have a really big problem, and the Bitcoin economy has a really, really big problem. So what would a possible future look like? Well, that would be something like this, right? Bitcoin holders put Bitcoin in a contract, right? A pool contract that's publicly auditable, and from there it's lent out to these borrowers. And at that point, all the loans are on chain, everything becomes fully visible, and you can see where the Bitcoin goes. So hey, 3 Arrows Capital is borrowed from a lot of these pools. That seems a bit strange, right? And all these lenders can actually do their proper diligence without having to kind of take people for dinner and trying to figure out like who's lent to whom. And yeah, that's essentially what we're building with Zest Protocol, like an iteration of this, where anyone or a really professional credit underwriters can launch these pools to basically rebuild the system of Bitcoin credit to fuel the Bitcoin economy.